You could hit the golf ball further and more consistently with no backswing. Well, not no backswing, it will feel like no backswing. So many amateurs get this wrong in the golf swing. And the reason why so many golf swings fail to hit the golf ball consistently is because of this backswing mistake. Big overswings, poor wrist angles, incorrect tilts, you name it, all leading to inconsistent strikes that you hate to hit on the golf course. So let's change that. This no backswing move is changing so many golfers, including my students, with both their irons and driver. I've got two simple drills for you in this video, so make sure you're staying to the end to watch them both, as both of them will transform how your backswing feels and looks, and performs, of course. So let's talk about the few things that we mentioned in the start of the video. Overswings, poor wrist angles, poor tilts, and I see it so often with so many of my students. And so many of you down that lens will be doing the same, and you kind of cheat the backswing. And when I say cheat the backswing, you don't have much turn in your body, so your hips don't turn very much and your upper body doesn't turn very much, which then causes you maybe to sort of stand up in your backswing. So you'll see sort of a loss of this posture that you have at the start. You got nice tilts and bends, but then you lose that because you're not turning properly in the backswing, which will then lead to this sort of breakdown in your arm structure. So you get sort of bends in your arms too much. This folds too much and gets tucked behind your body, which then gets you a little bit trapped. And then you'll start to add some wrist hinge in, some cupping in this lead wrist, but it gets your backswing back to sort of parallel and it looks like you're doing it properly, but you're cheating it. I'm just gonna pop my Hack Motion wrist sensor on quickly, and it's on. And I'm just gonna do a swing with those sort of breakdowns that you see in people's golf swings. So breakdown of the arms, big cupping of the wrist, not much power, high wafters to the right. Let's quickly take a look at the numbers of those wrist angles. So at address, I had 25 degrees of extension in my lead wrist. By the time I got to the top, I increased that to 46 degrees. And then at impact, I got rid of it, but not enough because that face was open and lofted, hitting that slice to the right. So I need to get that more towards that flexion sort of number. Ulnar and radial will also look into, because the first drill is going to completely transform these numbers too. At address, I'm 24 degrees in ulnar deviation, but by the time I get to the top of my swing, I've completely swapped that into radial deviation at 33 degrees. But then, because I class myself as a skilled golfer, I still managed to strike that ball pretty good, and I got my wrist angle in the ulnar and radial deviation, so that's this way and this way, back to exactly the same number as I started. You'll see that I've got something on me here for the first drill, but amateur golfers, when they have that variation in their wrist angles, really struggle to get those numbers matching by the time they get back into impact and where they want them to be to hit consistent, further distance golf shots. So drill number one, I need you to get an exercise band. I've popped it over my massive bicep and my lead thumb. So it's I'm able to sort of stretch it and move it like so. This is really going to focus on your wrist angles and that ulnar and radial number. Drill number two, make sure you stick around for that. That's going to focus more on your arm structure, which is then going to make you turn loads better in your golf swing to help you hit more consistent golf shots. So what I want you to do, set yourself up with your wristband on your lead arm. And the aim of the game is to make sure as you're swinging back, you keep the tension in this band. If you start to add cupping in this lead wrist, loads and loads of radial like we had in that example, the tension in this is going to disappear. I want you to feel like you're stretching this as much as you can in the backswing. I've got the numbers live on my phone down here. So we were at 24 degrees of ulnar at the start of my swing. And it's going to be the same here because I'm going to get it set up identically. But when we got to the top of my swing, I went into 33 degrees of radial. But if I try and keep the tension in this, look at that radial number. It's drastically different. it's gone down to only 2 or 3 degrees, whereas it was all the way up here. And to get all the way up here, I have to add that extension in. Whereas if I try and keep that tension on the band, I have hardly any radial deviation. And look at that extension number as well. I've hardly got any extension. So I started at 25 with extension in that lead wrist and went up to 46, so loads of cupping. But if I keep the tension, look, I've got basically a flat lead wrist. That's going to completely change your face to path and the loft you deliver as well. And if I literally just chip one forward with those feelings, that example shot went 117 yards. But if I do this with these different wrist angles and keep that tension in the band, I don't have to put hardly any effort in. And look how straight and consistent that is. 155 carry with what feels like hardly any backswing. That is step 1 to you making it feel like you have no backswing. Let's get on to drill number 2. And this one is going to make you feel like you have no backswing at all. Obviously, you are going to have a backswing, but it's going to feel loads shorter, like you're literally hitting a half shot or 3/4 shot. But I promise you, because you're now going to start turning loads more and use your big muscles, maybe use the ground a little bit better, you're still going to get that ball going as far, if not further. And hopefully with that consistency of strike. So we've ticked off the wrist angles with drill number 1. Let's concentrate now on your arm structure and stop them breaking down like this. Pop your hand in this position, pinky and thumb sticking out. And what I want you to do is simply pop your thumb on your sternum and your pinky on your lead elbow or the crease of your elbow. And as you take your backswing, I want you to keep the gap that you have at the start of your swing here. So as I take the club back here, look, I'm keeping that space and that gap throughout my backswing, okay? And now I can only swing to about here with my arms. But look at my body turn. I've got at least 90 degrees, if not 100, 110 degrees of shoulder turn from where I started. And that is going to feel so much different to what you're used to, with no turns of your hips, no turns of your upper body, and that standing up feeling that you would be getting. Pop your hand in this sort of symbol in position, pinky on that crease of your elbow, thumb on your sternum, and keep it there throughout that backswing. And all straight away you'll start to feel that those hips wanting to turn, that upper body wanting to turn, and keep the space and gap in that lead arm and chest. Now if I put my hands back on the grip, this is where I'll start to get towards. As you complete your backswing, it will get a little bit longer, but this is the feeling. And honestly, this will feel like you have no backswing whatsoever. If you feel like you're struggling to do that because the club might be a little bit heavy and so on, just grip down a little. So instead of setting up to the golf ball, just grip the club further down the grip, or maybe even on the shaft a little bit if you want to, and the club will become loads lighter. Then set yourself up again and try and swing as far back as you can, turning that upper body, turning those hips, and keeping that space between your lead arm and your chest. And then hit some golf shots. So you might want to get the feel here, bang, bang. Set yourself up, again feeling like you're pulling that band as well with your wrist angles. Don't forget to do that as well, pushing that away from you. Oh yes, another laser. And that does feel shorter, more compact, but look how accurate it is. Not delivering loads of loft on that club, not delivering an open face for those high wafty slices to the right. Compact, compressed iron shots, and this works with driver as well. Combine those two simple drills together and your backswing will absolutely transform, and you'll start to get feelings that the best players in the world are getting in their golf swings. Rather than those cheated backswings like this, you're going to be starting to get these sorts of backswings like the best players in the world. Oh, stop it. Let me know in the comments down below if either of these drills help your game. I'd love to know. Combine the two, it will feel like you have no backswing at all, but you'll get that consistency and ball striking that you're after. And if you're enjoying the channel and you're not subscribed to it, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps me to continue to make free content just like this to help you lower your scores. And it's free to do. Hit the thumbs up, turn your bells on, and hit the hype button, as it will get this video trending to help more golfers out there improve their game too. Thanks all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.